Joining us in the studio now on this Inspiration Thursday, we want to inspire you folks, and the story that this young man has to tell us will have the hair on the back of your neck just crawling. Listen to this man's story. David Opati Etale. He is not only an officer but a gentleman as well, and his story you need to listen carefully. David, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Hey, where do we start, man?
I don't even know. Tell me.
All right. So the story is, we'll fast forward. You ended up joining the British Army.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Were you in the Kenyan Army before? Was it a transition, or you just went straight?
No, I was supposed to join the Kenyan Army, by the way, because when I was playing football for Tusker, Ulinzi wanted to sign me because KDF, they've got a football team.
Yes.
So I was supposed to go there, but I didn't go because I love Nairobi too much.
You refused.
So I refused. Yeah.
And then
from there, one day I was just because nilikuanga pia derewa ma 3 during my part time 23 Kangemi route.
Number 23. I know that one.
Okay.
Thank you.
What else do you know?
No, that 106.
106 banana ya kwenyu na 23 Kangemi.
Yeah, so one of my friends came up to me and he said to me that he doesn't like what I'm doing. So his name is George, and he said to me that his cousin joined the British Army through online, because that time they were recruiting online. As you know, that the British, they colonized Kenya.
Yes.
So they are accepting Commonwealth soldiers.
Is that right? So you didn't have to have a British passport?
No.
Any Commonwealth applicant could be accepted?
Yes. Wow. Any country that was colonized by the British.
Yes.
They were accepted to join as Commonwealth soldiers.
So you applied?
Yes, I applied online.
And
then within a week, I was accepted.
How old were you?
I was 21. Yeah.
So training?
Training took 6 months.
Where?
In a place called Catterick.
Okay.
It was during winter. It was really tough.
I can imagine, yeah.
Really tough.
During winter?
Yes, during winter.
How many were you
the training, we started 124 people. And we finished 21 people.
What?
124,
yes.
21.
Yes.
So 103 quit.
They quit.
In 6 months?
Yes.
Kwani ni nini mlikuwa mnafanyiwa huko bwana?
How rough was it?
It was tough.
It's
there is professional. Everything is professional. Day by day, the training was intense. The winter as well, people were living through frost bites. You going to dig trenches, you sleep on snow for about 1 hour. It was really tough.
Were there other Africans?
Yes, there were.
Quite a few, or what?
Yeah, quite a few. In fact, it was quite remarkable because we were 9 Africans who completed the training. Wow. Because of the troubles we face in Africa, there's no way you can quit.
Yes.
Correct.
But you don't have a reason to quit.
No.
And that's why some of our athletes actually win. Because they are not running. They're running from trouble. They're not running to compete, my friend.
Wanahepa njaa,
wanahepa machida. Unakimbia ukikumbuka kwenyu uko Etale.
Yes.
When umekuwa ukiteseka.
So you run.
You run, my friend. You run. You don't have a choice. It's either you run or you die poor. So 9 Africans completed.
9 Africans completed. So I was the only Kenyan, and then the rest were from Ghana and Cameroon.
Okay.
Yes.
So now you're in the British Army.
Yes.
And what's your what's your rank in the beginning?
You start as a rifleman, so you're like a private soldier.
Okay.
And then during the years, you can do your training course. Once you get the experience, so you become a lance corporal to a corporal, where you become a 2IC or a section commander, where you guide men when you're going out on deployments.
Okay.
Yes.
Your first deployment?
Afghanistan.
Year?
2009, 2010. Yes.
How was it?
It was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible. It was one of the... I would say it was really, really tough. Because especially for me, because the person who trained me in Catterick as my section commander, he was the first person to step on an IED, and then he took off both of his legs and he died on the spot.
Were you there, or
no? I got the news, and that just broke me. But when you're there, you don't think about, these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But one thing you're thinking about is, we always say, you don't fight because of what's in front of you. You fight because of what's behind you. So you look at your family, you look at your close friends that you've left behind, and you just pray to God that you go back home safe.
So how long were you there before your incident?
4 months.
You were there 4 months?
Yes.
Patrolling every day?
Yes. And intense patrolling every day. You're being ambushed, you're being surrounded.
What was it, Kandahar, or was it?
I was in a place called Kajaki Dam.
Okay.
So that's where they have their electricity power coming from. So we had to protect that.
Right.
And at the same time try and protect the villagers and the citizens who are living there from the Taliban.
And for those who have no clue what Afghanistan is like, just paint a quick picture for us. What's the terrain like? What's the conditions like? What's the weather like?
The weather is hot, but when it's at night, it's crazy.
It drops.
It drops really bad because I had some few friends of mine who got hypothermia. But Afghanistan is a country whereby there's no life. There's no life completely. During my time there, I never saw any single lady.
What?
Yes.
Even in the villages?
Even in the villages, you don't see them. You only see the men, the young boys. Those are the people that you see.
And the women are hidden, or they're not allowed out, or?
I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even tell. But I never saw any woman there.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
The challenging part is you're fighting people who don't have a uniform.
Right. So you don't know who your enemy is.
Yeah, you don't know who your enemy is. Someone can pop in front of you, and you think he's a normal citizen, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just presses a button,
and that's it.
boom.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So 4 months into your tour, was that the first tour?
Yes.
Tell us what happened that day.
That day I actually woke up at about 3 a.m. in the morning. And we had a briefing the previous day where we are going to go. And we were told it's going to be a hostile place. So I wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't normal. I just couldn't sleep. I felt that there was something wrong. And it got to about 6 a.m. So one of my good friends, he'd been in the army for almost 12 years. And he said to me, David, did you ever picture yourself having been a player for Kenya Commercial Bank, playing for Tusker Football Club in this position? I said to him, no. But I didn't know why he was asking me that. But he could see in my eyes I was panicking because I was the leading vehicle. And you know, when you're the leading vehicle, you're the one who gets hit first.
Correct.
So I was me and my commander. So the whole day was pretty quiet until about 6:30 in the evening.
So you've been patrolling all day?
The whole day. So I knew we've hit the jackpot here. So we'll go back to the base. Nothing has happened, but I was wrong. So we were surrounded. And we had a firefight for almost 2 hours. And then the Americans, we got on the radio. They came and helped us through air support. So it was time for us to extract because there's nothing else we could do.
Right.
So about 50 meters from where we had been, I drove onto an IED. So this is the improvised bombs.
Improvised explosive device.
Yes.
IED. How many in your vehicle?
3.
There were 3 of you?
Yes.
And you drove over it?
Yes.
And?
I can't remember anything, Jeff.
Oh.
I found myself in the UK, in hospital.
And your friends?
One of the other one he fractured both his legs.
Fractured?
Yes.
Not
broken, sorry.
Broke?
Both hips, legs, fractured. And then the other one, who was our boss, he was thrown about 25 meters from what my friends told me, the ones who were behind us, and he landed on his feet, never got injured.
No.
Yeah.
25 meters on his feet.
Yes. The wheels of the vehicle were found about approximately 250 to 260 meters away from the blast.
Lord. So it was a huge IED.
Yes. Everyone knew I was dead. My friends knew I was dead.
So you wake up and you're back in the UK.
Yes.
So all this time you've been unconscious.
Yeah.
And then?
I start fighting with the nurses, thinking I'm in a war zone. And then I was pinned down. They explained to me that,
this is what happened.
Yes. And then they told me.
Did it come back to you? Did that incident come back to you like, oh yeah, we were driving, we're heading back to our base?
I could only remember up to that part. But from there, I can't remember anything. Yeah.
Did you ask, or did they tell you what was wrong? What happened?
You know, when you're in we normally have head cams on top of our helmets. So one of my friends was recording it from behind. I have it, but I've never watched it.
To this day?
To this day. It's in my garage back home.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. And I don't want to watch it.
No.
Yeah.
Did they announce, did they say you've lost a leg?
So what happened actually is I didn't lose my leg immediately because I had fractured 8 vertebrae on my lower lumbar spine. I broke my 2 collarbones. And as time went on, because I couldn't feel my left hand side, I was on rehab for almost 1.5 years.
So your leg was in a cast?
No, it wasn't on a cast. After some time, it was they were concentrating more on my back. So my leg at that time, I was feeling pain, but I wanted to go back to work, so I didn't tell anyone about my left hand side.
So you could use it?
I could use it, but I used to take about painkillers. The amount of painkillers I used to take were ridiculous. Until when I couldn't do it anymore, when I couldn't feel the left hand side of my leg. So even if you hit me with a hammer, I couldn't feel anything.
And you're still walking?
Yeah.
Oh, but you're still in rehab. You haven't gone back to...
No, I haven't gone back to active duty.
And your back?
My back was now getting better slowly by slowly. And then now is when I went to one of the doctors that I knew who was in the army, and he did some tests, and he told me my leg doesn't look good. So actually my leg, my nerves inside, they were slowly deteriorating, you know, and my bone was also being infected. So they said to me quickly, we need to get rid of it, because once the infection starts going up,
it's gangrene.
Yes, it's going to can either kill you or it can either make your situation worse.
Oh my God. So he announces that they're going to amputate your leg.
Yes.
What goes through your mind?
Because before that I had 8 to 12 surgeries to try and save it.
Right.
Yeah. As soon as he told me that, I thought to myself, I was born with 2 legs and now I'm going to have 1 leg. But now, after that ordeal, I was suffering from something called war post-traumatic stress disorder.
PTSD.
PTSD.
Yes.
Whereby I nearly took my life twice. And
what, as in committing suicide?
Yes.
Because of what, depression or nightmares, or what is it?
Nightmares of the things that I saw in the war zone, the things that happened there to my friends. Because as you're aware, some of my friends stepped on IED, some of them died immediately, some of them were having serious injuries. So those are the things that I was thinking about.
Were other friends killed in firefights?
Yes.
People you knew?
My close friends.
And would you ask yourself, what am I doing here? What are we doing here?
Yes, I did ask myself that question. But as time went on, I had to accept, because, you know, in this world, anything that God plans, it's something that's going to be the best for you. You're either going to be someone who's going to be successful, using your voice to try and influence others, using your voice to try and encourage others. So I believe I don't regret about anything that happened.
How did you try to end your life?
The first one was on a motorway.
Driving?
Yes. I was driving about 180 miles an hour on a motorway at night. And the police had to block my car.
Because you wouldn't stop?
I wouldn't stop.
What were you going to do? Slam into a truck or over the barrier? Or
it was a bridge. I was aiming for the bridge.
Oh my goodness. In the UK?
Yes.
Second time?
Second time, I took a whole bottle of gin with painkillers, and I just can't remember exactly what happened to me. I just found myself having been taken to hospital. Yeah.
When they when they amputated your leg,
yes,
how soon after the Afghanistan incident was that?
It took a while, because they amputated my leg in January 2016.
Last year.
Yeah.
And then what? Does that end your military career immediately, or what happens?
They take you for rehab. They can never discharge you without you completing your rehab.
Cannot.
But one thing that gave me strength was my daughter. When she walked into my room and said to me, Dad, I still love you the way you are. I know you have 1 leg, but I still need you in my life. This is a girl who was 7 years. And since then, I never looked back. one thing that I say to myself is I'll never feel sorry for myself or let anyone feel sorry for myself, because once you do that, that's when you creep in or you let the negativity to start getting into you.
Right.
And I couldn't afford to look back, Jeff. I couldn't afford to do it.
Are you still in the military? Are you still part of British Army?
No, I was discharged.
You were discharged?
Yes.
But they take care of you? They
For life.
For life?
Yeah.
No matter where you are?
For life, no matter where I am.
So if you need some rehab, if you need some physio, you can walk into a hospital and they sort you out?
I would have to go back to the UK. Yeah.
Do you consider yourself lucky? Because, for instance, a KDF that's fighting in Somalia right now, you can just imagine, someone was telling me about the Armed Forces Hospital here.
Yeah.
If you walk in there, you could die, you could cry, it's shocking.
Yeah.
Do you feel lucky?
Yes. I feel lucky, and I feel at the same time it's God's plan. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But anyone who wears a uniform, you've got to give them a lot of gratitude, because it's not an easy job. I've got friends in the KDF that I played football when they were playing for Lindsay, and they're there, and we still talk.
What do they say?
Compared to the two armies,
Yes.
you can't compare with the British Army, because the British Army, we've almost got everything. Here in Kenya, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Their patrolling skills, their equipment is not into high quality like the way we have.
Right.
Which they just have to work with whatever they have. It's like everywhere you go.
With whatever they have, are they doing a decent job? You think they're doing okay?
Yes, I believe they're doing okay, because we train with them.
Yeah.
Every time we come here, before we go on a deployment, we train with them in Samburu and in Nanyuki. They're good. They're doing an amazing job.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you tell kids out there when you're talking to them? What do you tell them?
When I talk to kids out there, I always tell them that, first of all, they need to listen to their parents. Because anyone who's older than you,
Yeah.
and they give you advice. Most of us, we tend to think that when we are kids, we tend to think that we know a lot of things. But these people, even if they tell us, or they tell us in a harsh way, they love us. And the only thing that I can tell the kids out there is, as they keep on growing, never, never, ever to give up. And as they keep on growing, never, ever to look back. Once a day is gone, focus on the next day. And make sure that every day that goes by, ask yourself, at the end of the day when you walk into the house, what positivity have I left? That's the best thing that you can ever do, Jeff.
How old are you, David?
Right now, I'm 31.
31.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to take a break, come back and talk some more, because there's some stupid children out there who are committing suicide or attempting to commit suicide at the age of 15, 14, and maybe we don't know what their real stories are.
Yes.
But David, we need you to address that just a bit, because I think it's a growing problem, Jalas. What do you think?
Of course, yes. So reading in the papers and everything.
Every single day.
Then listen to Opati's story.
Incredible.
It's
incredible.
It's amazing.
Oh, my
it's
goodness. Oh, and we also want to know, when you walk into a mall and the security gizmo goes off, what do you tell them? Do they say,
I always try and be respectful everywhere I go. So I remove my phones even before I go there.
But then
But I don't pass through the machine.
You don't, huh?
Yeah, because I control my leg with my phone.
What?
So...
Well, hold that thought. Control my leg with my phone. What do you have, an app?
Yes.
A leg app?
Yes.
Somebody say, oh my.
Oh my.